Hey, Pathways Church, it's TJ Norman here again with your daily dose. We're back looking at the good news of Mark. Today we're in Mark chapter 1, verses 12 and 13. It says that once the Spirit sent him out into the wilderness, and he was in the wilderness for 40 days, being tempted by Satan. This was Jesus, and he was with the wild animals, and angels attended him. Mark gives us the Reader's Digest condensed version of Jesus' temptation, highlighting the essential elements that we need to know when facing our own temptations. First, how are we tempted in the first place? Three forces are always at work in the process of temptation: our personal tendencies to desire what is opposite of the Spirit, the activity of the enemy, and the prodding of the Spirit that directs us into engagement with the devil. For Jesus, it was 1/3 of those, but for us, it can be any or all of them. Second, the place of temptation is the wilderness. At least symbolically, the wilderness represents the barren and dry place. When we find ourselves relationally, emotionally, and spiritually empty, you are far more vulnerable to temptation. But the desert represents the place where you don't have many resources to fall back on. Third, the time of temptation is always for a period. It isn't forever, at least in this intensity. For Jesus, the period lasted 40 days. Fourth, the atmosphere of temptation may involve frightful dimensions. Mark is the only gospel writer to note the presence of wild animals. When the devil came to Jesus with the three temptations, it seemed he had donned a rather civil appearance, and as often does when he wants to entice. But temptation may also involve a nightmarish time of danger. Jesus experienced this in the wilderness, things similar to what Daniel experienced in the lion's den. What wild beasts are presented in your own time of temptation. Lastly, God will protect you in the place of temptation as you put your trust in him against the wild beast. There are always angels of God around you. The angels didn't assist Jesus in saying no to the devil, but they protected him from the other ravages of the wilderness. Likewise, the Lord will protect you from whatever seeks to tear you apart. He has promised to provide a way to escape. First, it teaches us that being led by the Spirit doesn't always mean it's easy. Sometimes it means facing trials and temptations head on, but these experiences can strengthen our faith and dependence on God. Second, Jesus' victory over temptation gives us hope. Hebrews 4:15 tells us that Jesus was tempted in every way just as we are, yet he did not sin. Because of this, we can approach him with confidence, knowing that he understands our struggles and offers us his strength. Lastly, Jesus' experience shows us that we are never alone in our trials. Just as angels attended to him, God provides us with his presence, support, and encouragement, even in our darkest moments. We may not always see it, but God is with us, sustaining us through every challenge. That's all for today's Daily Dose. Join us again tomorrow as we continue to look at the good news of Mark.